I voted for Donald J. Trump in the 2024 presidential election, and I am starting to regret my vote. When I voted for Donald Trump, I was under the impression that we would be getting rid of the undesirable illegal aliens. Now I have no one to work on my farm. What am I supposed to do? Pay them a living wage? This isn't handout city. I'm not giving these people no handouts. And how am I even supposed to do that anyway? I thought the plan was to tax the poors. Okay? I thought we were going to tax the poors. I make $25,000 a year. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them poors. But why did my taxes raise? I thought us good folks were supposed to be getting tax cuts. That was what I thought. Plus, I'm white. Why did my taxes raise, and why do I have no one to work my farm? I do not understand this, and I know that this was not what Donald Trump meant to happen. I know that he doesn't want us good Trump supporter folks suffering, but we are. Donald Trump, please reverse this. I'm a white person. I am not supposed to be suffering. It was supposed to be the...
I voted for him for lower grocery prices. He promised me cheaper prices and groceries.
I didn't care how things were affecting others until it affected me. Am I proud of that? No. We live in a very cruel world, and sometimes the only way to survive is by being selfish. We are all just out here trying to survive as best we can. And although we may have good intentions and we may be empathetic and we may be compassionate, we will always put ourselves first because we have to survive. And if that means making a mistake in my vote or maybe putting my trust in the wrong person like I did, then that's what it means. I will always put the betterment of my family and vote in ways that I think will help my family above anyone else.
Here's the problem with voting for your self-interest. I understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs. When you're on the bottom and none of your needs are fulfilled, you can only think of yourself. But here's the problem with that, is you voted for your self-interest. So did everybody else in the Republican Party. Think about that for a minute. You voted for your self-interest, but you don't have anything. Like, you don't have anything. Like, that's what it is. But other people, rich people, they have a lot. So, of course, they're going to vote for their self-interest because they have something. You don't. You need the tribe, right? The socialized healthcare, the socialized dental care, schools, firefighters, police officers, all socialized systems. Is it clicking yet? You voted against the tribe. You know, humans didn't make it on their own. We always existed in a tribe, taking care of each other. You could only take care of yourself if you have something. And you don't have shit.
I just saw a video of a Trumper on here. You've probably seen it. And he's basically like, I voted for Trump. These tariffs are killing me as a small business owner. I need some help. Some Democrats in the comments are trolling him, of course. And someone commented like, I love this for you. And the Trumper replied via video. And he was like, oh, you love this for me, blah, blah, blah. What the fuck did you expect? We told you this and we got called elitist. We told you the impact tariffs have on the economy and you were like, you guys think you're so smart? This is basic knowledge. So the guy makes the video back and he's like, I knew Trump was going to tariff. I thought it would push people to build in the USA. I'm going to explain this to you like you're 5. Have you ever watched Shark Tank, okay? And a product's on there and the sharks go, why is it so expensive? And the person goes, it's made in the USA. Why do you think they say that? Why do you... Everything's more expensive in the United States. That's why we get things internationally. And as a small business owner, I'm surprised you don't know that. You didn't think this would start a trade war, huh? Like last time? And last time was significantly less than all the tariffs he's doing this time. Like, you don't get to play victim, okay? You were warned, you ignored it. Now you're paying the consequences for voting without knowing how things work.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. In today's episode, we are going to see the reasons to why majority of Magas people, they are really crying. They vote for him. They believe in him. They wore the hats, flew the flag, and followed him to the end. But now, many Magas voters are begging Donald Trump to stop. Why? Because the very thing they thought he would protect, jobs, freedom, communities, values, are slipping through their fingers. In small towns across America, factories didn't come back, healthcare got more expensive, farms went bankrupt, inflation hit hard, and the tax breaks. They helped the rich, not the working class. Some lost their homes, others lost their saving, and many lost hopes. And now, as Trump faces mounting legal trouble, promises more political chaos, and threatens more division, some of his most loyal supporters are starting to ask, what did we actually get out of all this? This isn't about left or right anymore. It's about disillusionment, about people waking up to the fact that the movement they trusted has left them behind. They were promised strength, but now they feel abandoned, exhausted, and betrayed. They didn't think it would end like this, but for some, it's already over. So kindly guys, let's watch and see this compilation of videos from American people coming out and crying because of what is happening in America. All credits goes to the original creator of the video. Watch this till the end, then I'll be back. I'm your host, Dash Lifestyle.
I voted for him for lower grocery prices. He promised me cheaper prices on groceries. And that has not happened. Not only has that not happened, I am getting my food stamps taken. I am getting my cash assistance taken. I am getting my Section 8 taken. I am getting all my welfare governments taken. I did not ask for this. Yes. I would not have voted for him if I knew this was going to happen.
Do you know what drives me insane about these people that say that if I would have known, I wouldn't have voted for him, or I did not vote for that? Yes, you did. The first thing that bothers me is yes, you did. You see, you voted for those things. You just thought it would happen to someone else. You were perfectly fine with other people losing programs, losing things that would benefit them. You just didn't think it would touch you. You thought you were safe from losing these programs. And the other part is they say they didn't know. Bull crap. Bull crap. The left, independents, lots of different economic experts, doctors, scientists have been screaming about all the horrible things that Donald Trump would do. We told you about Project 2025. We told you how many times his name was listed in Project 2025. And we told you how many of his own staffers were in there as well or helped write it. But you guys didn't believe us. You guys said fake news. We tried to warn you. You didn't either want to listen, or your bigotry and your racism, your homophobia and your sexism didn't allow you to see what was coming. So the bed that you made, you now have to lie on. The sad thing is that so many of us are in the same bed with you, but we didn't vote that way. We knew that these things were going to happen. We knew that this was going to cause havoc for everybody. And look, I'm sorry for you. I feel horrible that you're going to lose all these benefits, but you did vote for this. So if you want something to change, I suggest you call your congressperson and tell them to put a leash on Donald Trump and stop him in Congress. I suggest instead of just coming on this app and whining and complaining about what you yourself created, you call your representative and do something about it. Otherwise, we here on the left and independent, we don't care. We warned you. All my love.
Honest and fair question. What did you expect? What did you expect making a TikTok saying that you voted for Trump and now because of the tariffs, your business is going to go out of business and you're asking for people on TikTok to help you? I think what's sad for me is it wasn't the fact that he is a misogynistic, sexist, rapist who really has it out for women. That wasn't enough. It wasn't that he's racist and has spewed racist hate, Latino hate, African-American hate. None of that mattered. Like, it didn't matter to you until your pocketbook, your bottom line was affected. So again, what did you expect? I mean, it was pretty brave of you to admit that and to come on and make a TikTok like that, but did you really expect for everyone on TikTok to be like, oh no, I'm so sorry, here's a Cash App, here's some advice? No, you fucked around and now you're finding out. And it's not just that you voted for somebody and now your business is hurt, it's that you didn't fucking care until your business was hurt. That's the fucking issue. I don't feel sorry for you one bit. Love you, Slayers.
A while ago, I did a video about how this computer guy who fixes my computer had no idea what a tariff was, and he thought it was something China would have to pay, Trump supporter. And I tried to explain to him what a tariff was, and he was quite baffled. And I was saying these tariffs are going to make computers much more expensive, and this guy has a computer business. And I could tell it sort of went over his head, probably because we haven't had tariffs on computers in a while, so this was a new concept for him. Well, fast forward a couple of months, and today I get an email from his office, encourage everyone to buy now. Because of tariffs, prices are going to go up. I thought, wow. You know, it took a couple months, but you finally figured out what a tariff is, and now it's impacting your business. You're worried because with higher prices means fewer people can afford to buy your computers. So yeah, he's a little anxious now. I guess it's an FAFO.
There's no trade deal with China. Do your research. There's no trade deal. Dude, I voted Donald Trump. I'm MAGA. Like, I'm 100% behind Donald Trump, but the reality of the fact, there's only a pause. That's what's going on right now. A 90-day pause. It's not no trade deal. Like, Donald Trump wants an open market. There's certain products that are restricted where we can't buy, sell, and trade like we allowed China to do. They're not allowing us to do. That's what Donald Trump wants. That would be a deal. But what's going on now is like, hey, we're going to go back to day one when Donald Trump first got in office. Okay, we're starting over. That's what this is. So like, you know, everyone like saying, hey, like Donald Trump's winning against China. He's not. And he's not going to. You know why? Because China doesn't need us. Unless all of our allies want to come together and help us, maybe that will like bring a huge change to the Chinese economy, because 70% of the Chinese economy is depending on America and our allies. But if it's just us versus them, they don't need us. That's the reality of the fact here. And I'm not saying that I'm doubting Donald Trump. I'm just saying, don't call this a deal. It's not a deal. It's a pause.
So what happens when the entire nation boycotts Israel? What happens when every city, every town, every state boycotts Israel? Are y'all going to lock everybody up and charge them $1 million or put them in for 20 years? Here you are struggling to deport immigrants legally with due process. You sat here on TV talking about, what are we going to do? Are we going to give all of them court dates? Like, how the hell are we going to do that? Well, what's going to happen when you have 17,000 protesters protesting Israel? Where are the prisons at to put these people in? Aren't they overcrowded right now? So how are you going to lock up people for 20 years on tax dollars and then charge them $1 million? How do you expect this plan to work? Y'all are bullying people for dissenting anything. You can't bully people for protesting Israel, just like you can't bully people for protesting the UK or protesting Canada or protesting Mexico. It doesn't matter. You can't sit up there and withhold funds from colleges and universities because they don't like America. That's not how politics works. We as Americans have to go to other fucking countries. And guess what? We may go to these other fucking countries and we may not like those goddamn countries. Should they lock us up for 20 fucking years? And throw away the key? Do you want other countries to start grabbing up Americans and throwing them in jail and sending them to El Salvador? Do you want that to happen? Why are you sitting here attacking our allies? What the is your problem? And Congress ain't no better. Like, what the is Congress in office for if all you're going to do is allow this man to rule as king? Why are we nominating you to represent us when you're going to allow him to just do what the he wants? Why do you need our vote? And then you go to these town halls pissing off the people who actually put your dirty ass in fucking office. You go there and then you ask them to leave your town halls because they're dissenting, because they don't agree with what the you're doing or what the Trump administration is doing to this country. Now here we have Israel, where y'all have vested interest in, which is why you want the extra $1 trillion. We just spent the last 3 weeks $1 billion trying to prevent Israel from getting attacked. And you know what just happened? A hypersonic missile traveling 13,000 miles from the Middle East landed right next to an international airport in Israel. Almost blew that motherfucker up. And the Houthis are not playing in Iran. They are ready for the smoke. So if you want to keep poking that teddy bear, Iran will rise up and they will kick America's ass. They are not ready. There's a reason why Iran is what it is. It has not been touched by the U.S. Americans. They tried that shit before and they understood. Leave Iran alone. They just shot a hypersonic missile that bypassed both of Israel's defenses. The American THAAD system, THAAD, and the multi-arrow system that Israel has to stop missiles. It bypassed both of them. These missiles can travel up to 10,000 miles per hour. They are nothing to f with. And the Houthis told them, this is because of what the f y'all did to Gaza and are doing to Gaza. And they warned that there will be more of these fucking missiles that are going to be attacking their fucking airports. You know what Israel had to do? Shut down every fucking airport for travel. Because what happens when one of those missiles hits a civilian plane full of civilians? These people are not playing with us. The United States has gotten too comfortable in its military presence. First of all, you dismissed a lot of military people to fight in this fucking war. You dismissed a lot of knowledgeable motherfuckers who know how to strategically infiltrate and do the fucking job that the Army was so great for doing because of DEI. You dismantled the very structure of our Army. And now you're sitting here poking bears as if we got the strongest military when the shit is in complete shambles. You got Pete Hegseth in the Pentagon putting in the fucking Pentagon with our tax dollars. The fucking alcoholic is out here drinking whiskey, Jack Daniels, and a fucking, I don't know, Long Island iced tea while he's texting his wife signal secrets, texting his fucking wife war secrets, and everybody else on the Signal app that can be hacked by any fucking body. This is the person who's over our military standards, conduct, rules, controls, strategies. Two fucking idiots. And y'all want to fuck with Iran? Our troops are in fucking trouble. If you have a son, a daughter, a mother, this should alarm the fuck out of you. I don't give a fuck whether you're right or left. These people can lose their life because of what's going on right now. You may not have a mom next year. You may not have a brother next year. You may not have a son, a daughter, a cousin. You may not have them next year. Because what he's doing right now is causing a world war. And guess who they're looking at? The United States. Nobody's warring with anybody else. Everybody's looking at the United States, ready for us to bust the move. You think people ain't standing by waiting for the U.S. to do some stupid shit? They are ready. And I'm sitting here like, how don't motherfuckers see this? How is Congress allowing this shit to happen? How is the Supreme Court, judges, anybody not shutting this man down completely? How is law enforcement listening to these people that he put in power? How is the FBI listening to this man? How is the military listening to Pete Hegseth do unconstitutional fucking rules? Unconstitutional demands on our agencies that we pay our taxes for. Now you're talking about locking people up for 20 years in fucking prisons. How are you going to fund it? And charging them $1 million? When you put people in prison, it comes out of our tax dollars. You done rose tariffs sky high. Now you're talking about charging the movie industry. It's just you don't know what the you're doing, and people are too prideful to admit that they made a fucking mistake, and they should have voted for Kamala. It's as simple as that. But before y'all admit that y'all made a mistake, and before y'all say y'all should have voted for a black woman, y'all will continue to allow this man to destroy this fucking country, and for us to sit by and watch it fucking happen. And if we happen to say something about this wonderful country that we love, then we're sent to prison for 20 years. Or we're fined with $1 million. or we're deported to El Salvador. What the fuck is this? Where the fuck are we living? Is this our country or not? If so, let us know so we can get the fuck out of this motherfucker. Because at this point, there's no purpose in staying here. What are you staying here for? Just for your chance to be fucking deported? For your fucking chance to be abused, to be thrown in prison? To be your money stolen from? To be banned from any other fucking country that's around the United States? What is our purpose for staying here at this point? Why pay taxes so that you can torture us for 4 fucking years? Why do states enforce us to pay federal taxes when they know you're wasting our money? All of this shit doesn't make sense to me. Maybe somebody in the comments can make it make sense.
You know how I know the tariffs are actually going to work? Because every single speaking head, influencer, economist that is, Ivy League educated, every single one of them are saying that it's not going to. So what that tells me, remember, these are the same people that got us into this mess that we're in now, and Trump's trying to get us out of it. But that's all I needed to know. I was nervous about these tariffs, right? I'm just a middle-class American, just trying to make ends meet just like the rest of you. But I'll tell you what, when I see all of these crazy people that are freaked the F out over these tariffs, I also think you were freaked out about everything that this man had done. So yeah, I feel good about these tariffs now, because the same people that were like, this isn't going to work, are the same ones that got us into all of these other messes before.
I don't care. I don't care. All these videos on this app about how in 3 weeks the grocery stores are going to be empty, good. Let that play out. Okay, take some precautions, but let that shit play out. Farmers on this app boo-hooing because they're losing their farms, all the way off. What did you think was going to happen? Joe Biden bailed you out, then you turned around and voted for Trump. So yeah, I'm glad that all your government grants and bailouts and farmer welfare got taken away from you. And I hope to God a Democrat buys your land and is profitable. Truckers. Oh my God, the amount of truckers on my algorithm right now boo-hooing that they don't have any loads, which by the way, at first is kind of funny. But what? 90% of you voted for this. What the fuck did you think was going to happen when he tariffed the whole world and there was going to be no product to move around the country? Hello? Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm scared to death of the shitstorm that we are all about to walk through. And the longevity of those empty shelves keeps me up at night. But the only thing that keeps me going is that any day
I hope you have watched that video from the Maga people and you have seen what they have come out and say the reasons to why they are really crying and they are feeling betrayed with Donald Trump. So I'm also want to add some of the reasons to why the Maga people, they are really crying, they are feeling betrayed. One, it is because of the broken economic promises. Many MAGA voters believe Trump will revive American manufacturing and bring jobs back from overseas. Instead, some factories still closed. Tariff hurts farmers and small businesses, and working class people saw little real improvement. Tax cut disproportionately favored the wealthy, leaving many middle and lower class supporters behind. So you have seen to some of the reasons over there. And also let's go to the reason number 2, crashing healthcare costs. Trump promised to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act with something better and cheaper. That never happened. Millions in rural areas still struggle with expensive premium medical debt or no coverage at all. So you can see this one now. Millions in rural areas still struggle with expensive premiums, medical debt, or no no coverage at all. So remember, in the Trump's big beautiful bill, he came out and the Republicans, they voted 51% to crash the big beautiful bill. So this big beautiful bill, it is now affecting rural hospitals, whereby some of the people in the rural areas, they are really struggling to pay their medical bill. Others who they were having medical debt, also they are still struggling, and also there's no coverage at all. So this tell you that this Trump administration, it has really made so many people to suffer, especially for those people who are in the lower class. And also we can see number 3, legal chaos and political drama. Many are exhausted by the non-stop investigation, incitements, court cases, and scandal. Some supported Trump because they wanted less government disinfunction, not more chaos and division. This is also the reasons why majority of Maga, they supported Donald Trump. Ruin relationship and divided communities. Families have been torn apart by political arguments, friends, churches, and even marriage fractured over Maga loyalty. Some voters are now asking, was it really worth all this personal damage? So you can see. And also, let's go to number 5, January 6 fallout. Some Maga's voters who were swept up in the movement attended the Capitol priority and paid dearly with jail time, legal fees, or ruined reputation. They now feel betrayal, believing they were misled into taking the fall while Trump faced no consequence. Let's go to number 6, feeling used and abandoned. Trump raised hundreds of millions for his legal defense, but some supporters feel he is more focused on himself than them. Yeah, so many MAGA voters, they feel like Trump, he is doing everything for himself, but not for the people, because everything which it is about the people, Donald Trump, he doesn't, which it is helping people, Donald Trump, he doesn't want that, like for the big beautiful bill. This it was helping so many people, so many children, even the children, they were benefiting from this big beautiful bill. But since Donald Trump and the Republican came and voted to crash this big beautiful bill, this is to show that Donald Trump, he doesn't care. Donald Trump, he cares for only those people around him and his and him alone, not everyone. Let's go to number 6, fear for the future. Talk of retribution, terminating the constitution and bringing dictatorship on day one has frightened even some of his own base. They didn't sign up for authoritarian actuarial. So kindly guys, let me just repeat that one. Isolation from reality. Some MAGA voters feel like they were fed misinformation for years about vaccine, election, and more after. So kindly guys, subscribe to the channel and also like the video. See you in my next one. Bye bye.